Good morning, Virgo. Everyone around you has figured something out. Everyone in this person's orbit, their friends, the people who know them casually, the ones who have watched them from a distance, even the ones who barely know their name, they have all seen it. Everyone except you. And I need you to stay with me right now because what I am about to walk you through is going to shift something inside of you that has been waiting a very long time to be moved. There is a person in your life or someone connected to your energy right now who is absolutely transparent to everyone around them when it comes to how they feel about you. And the word transparent does not even fully capture it. It is more like luminous. Like the feeling they carry for you radiates outward without their permission, without their awareness. In a way that they probably believe they are successfully hiding, but are doing the single worst job of concealing that anyone who loves someone has ever done. And somehow you have not seen it. Or maybe some part of you has seen it and immediately talked yourself out of it, immediately found the rational explanation, immediately decided that what you were perceiving was too good to be real, too simple, too straightforward for something that in your mind must be more complicated than that. Because, Virgo, you are brilliant at many things, but receiving love without analysis is not always one of them. Stay with me. I say that with the deepest respect because this quality of yours, this tendency to examine, to question, to verify before you allow yourself to believe, it comes from somewhere real. It comes from a history of being careful, of learning, sometimes painfully, that not everything that looks like love is love, that not every person who seemed certain was actually certain. And so you built a discernment mechanism, a filter, a quiet internal voice that says, "Are you sure?" before you let anything fully land. That voice has protected you. It has also, in this particular situation, been working against you. Because what this person feels for you is not ambiguous, it is not complicated, it does not require a filter or a framework or a series of tests to verify its authenticity. It is simply, undeniably, almost embarrassingly real, and the people around them can see it written all over everything, in the way their voice changes when your name comes up, in the way their attention shifts when you enter a space, in the way they find reasons to bring you into conversations where you were not the topic, in the way they go quiet and soft in a manner that is completely out of character for them whenever something reminds them of you. Does this resonate? Have you noticed people around this person looking at you with a certain knowing expression? Have you been on the receiving end of comments or teasing or even just a particular kind of smile that suggested something was being seen that you were not quite seeing yourself? Let me know in the comments because I think some of you are already laughing quietly to yourselves right now in recognition. Let me go deeper into this energy because there is so much here. This person has been carrying their feelings for you for longer than you realize. This did not begin recently. This is not a new development that caught them off guard. This is something that has been building, layering, deepening over a period of time that might surprise you if you knew the full length of it. There were probably moments early on where they tried to minimize it in their own mind, told themselves it was just appreciation, just enjoyment of your company, just the natural warmth one person can feel toward another without it meaning anything significant. But it kept growing, and at some point it crossed a threshold that they could no longer reframe. And Now they are just in it fully, helplessly, beautifully in it, in a way they have perhaps never quite been before, in a way that has made them simultaneously more alive and more terrified than they know how to manage gracefully. I want to sit with something specific here. What I am feeling in this energy is a kind of love that has texture, that has weight, that is not casual or convenient or based on proximity alone. This person has thought about you in your absence, has wondered about your inner world, has wanted to understand not just the version of you that is visible in shared spaces, but the version of you that exists when no one is watching, the real you, the complex, layered, quietly extraordinary you that you yourself sometimes struggle to fully appreciate. They want to know that person. They may already feel like they know more of that person than you have consciously offered, because people who love someone with this kind of attention tend to pick up things that were never formally shared. They read between lines. They notice what you do not say as much as what you do. They build a picture of you that is somehow both accurate and filled with a reverence that you might find both touching and slightly overwhelming if you could see it directly. And here is the thing, Virgo. Here is the part that I really want you to hear. You deserve that. You deserve someone who pays that quality of attention, who finds you interesting enough, layered enough, worth enough of their inner resources to think about you the way this person thinks about you. That is not a small thing. In a world where most people's attention is scattered, where depth is rare, where the kind of focused, genuine interest this person has for you is genuinely uncommon, you deserve to receive it without immediately questioning whether you have earned it, without immediately looking for the catch, without immediately deciding that something must be wrong with the picture because the picture looks too good. Um, I feel something very particular coming through for some of you right now. There is a layer of this that goes beyond the simple fact of being loved. There is something about worthiness here. Something about a quiet belief, one that may have been installed a long time ago and has been running silently in the background ever since, that says love this steady, this clear, this uncomplicated in its devotion is not really for you, that it is for other people, that you are the one who loves this way, not the one who receives it. And I want to stop everything right now and address that belief directly. It is not true. It has never been true. It is a story that was written before you were old enough to question it, and it has been influencing your perception of every relationship and potential connection ever since, making you second guess what is real, making you minimize what is being offered, making you find reasons why something wonderful is probably not as wonderful as it appears. But the universe has a particular sense of timing. And what is happening right now, this person loving you so visibly that literally everyone around them can see it, this energy arriving in your field at this specific moment in your journey, it is not accidental. It is the universe presenting you with an opportunity to update that old story, to let a new experience write something different over it, to let yourself be loved fully, clearly, without an asterisk. Have you ever allowed yourself to really imagine that? Not just in an abstract, hopeful way, but concretely, specifically, as a real lived experience. Someone choosing you every day, not because you have made yourself indispensable, not because you have earned it through service or reliability or making yourself easy to have around, but simply because of who you are. because the specific, irreplaceable, one of a kind energy that is you is exactly what calls to something in them. Take a moment with that. Actually, let it in, because that is what is being offered in this energy. Now, I want to talk about why you specifically have not seen it, because I think this is where the real work of this reading lives. It is one thing to say someone loves you, it is another to understand why your own perception has been filtered in a way that made that invisible. Virgo, you have an extraordinary mind, a mind that processes the world with a level of detail and precision that is genuinely rare. And that mind, when turned toward something as emotionally charged as a potential romantic connection, tends to immediately begin evaluating risk, assessing, looking for inconsistencies, measuring what is being shown against a very high and very specific internal standard. And while that standard exists to protect you, it also creates a kind of noise, a constant background analysis that makes it very difficult to simply feel something without simultaneously dissecting it. To receive a signal without immediately questioning whether the signal is accurate. So, when this person has shown you who they are and how they feel through their actions, through the quality of their attention, through the 10,000 small ways that love announces itself before words are ever spoken, your mind has been very busy explaining it away, finding alternative interpretations, keeping the conclusion just slightly out of reach as a form of protection. But your heart has known, your body has known. There is a part of you, quieter than the analytical mind, softer and more trusting, that has been sitting with the knowing of this for a while, that has felt the warmth of this person's energy and recognized it for exactly what it is. And that part of you has been waiting patiently for the rest of you to catch up. I think today might be the day you start catching up. Does this resonate with something you have been avoiding fully acknowledging? Is there something in you that already knew what this reading is telling you, but needed to hear it from somewhere outside of yourself before you could let it be real? Let me know in the comments. You do not have to share the whole story. Even just saying I already knew carries its own kind of power, because naming what we know is how we begin to actually live it. Let me go into what I feel is happening energetically right now between you and this person. There is a tension in the field, not a negative tension, but the kind of tension that exists when something true is trying to surface and has not quite found the opening yet. Like pressure building behind a door that is almost ready to open. This person is moving closer to saying something, to making something known in a way that removes all ambiguity. They have been circling this moment for a while, gathering themselves, finding the courage that this kind of honesty requires. Because loving someone the way they love you makes you vulnerable in a way that is genuinely terrifying if you are not certain how it will be received. And they are not certain because you, Virgo, have a particular kind of composure that can be very difficult to read from the outside. You process internally, you respond thoughtfully rather than immediately. You do not tend to wear your reactions openly, which means that this person, despite the depth of their feeling, despite the fact that everyone around them can see their devotion as clearly as daylight, genuinely does not know if you feel anything in return. They are hoping, they are watching for signals. They are finding meaning in small things because small things are all they have access to right now. And somewhere in your behavior, in your own carefully composed responses and measured expressions, there may have been moments where you unintentionally showed them something, a look that lasted a breath too long, a laugh that came from somewhere real, a moment of attention that was just different enough from how you treat everyone else that it registered in them as significant. They are holding those moments. They are returning to them the way you return to a song that makes you feel something you cannot name. There is something about this connection that feels particularly significant for your path as a whole, Virgo. Not just because of the emotions involved, not just because of the potential for a beautiful relationship, but because of what allowing yourself to receive this love would mean for you internally, what it would heal, what it would confirm, what old wound it would finally close by showing you the direct opposite of whatever created it. Sometimes the universe sends us love not just as an experience, but as a correction, as a living, breathing answer to a question our soul has been asking for a very long time. And the question your soul has been carrying, even if you have not heard it in those exact terms, sounds something like, am I someone who gets to be loved like this? Am I someone who is chosen simply for existing, simply for being, simply for the specific, irreplaceable flavor of presence that I bring to the world? The answer that is walking toward you right now is yes. An unambiguous, unhesitating, seen by everyone in the room yes. The only question remaining is whether you will let yourself receive it. I want to speak to the Virgo heart one more time before we close because I feel something tender here that deserves to be acknowledged. You have spent so much of your life being the reliable one, the one who shows up, the one who figures it out, the one who holds things together when everything is threatening to fall apart, the one who gives and gives and gives from a place of genuine care while quietly, privately wondering if anyone is paying attention to what it costs you, if anyone sees the effort behind the composure, if anyone will ever love you with the same specificity and devotion that you pour into the people lucky enough to have you in their lives. Someone is paying attention. Someone sees it. Someone has been watching you be that person and has fallen completely, irrevocably in love with the quiet heroism of it, with the dignity of it, with the beauty of someone who does good and loves well without requiring an audience. That is what they see when they look at you. That is what has made everyone around them notice. That is the thing they are finding so impossible to contain that it spills out of them in conversations and expressions and energetic signatures that the whole world can read except the one person they are directed toward. You, Virgo, it has always been you. Let me ask you something as we begin to move toward the close of this reading. When you sit quietly with yourself, away from the analysis and the caution and the very reasonable protective mechanisms you have built over a lifetime, what do you feel when you think about this person? Not what you think you should feel, not what makes logical sense, but the actual unguarded, unedited feeling. Hold that. That feeling is information. That feeling is your own heart trying to tell you something that your mind keeps interrupting. And it deserves to be heard. As this energy settles and this reading comes to its natural close, I want to leave you with something grounding, something real to carry forward. You do not need to do anything dramatic with what this reading has stirred. You do not need to make a grand move or a bold declaration or a decision by any particular time. What I am asking you to do is simply this: let yourself know what you already know. Stop arguing yourself out of what your own perception has been trying to show you. Give the quiet part of you, the part that has been feeling this all along, a little more room, a little more trust, a little more of your own precious attention. And as for this person who loves you so completely that it has become a kind of open secret among everyone who knows them, they are not going anywhere. What they feel is not fragile. It is not dependent on perfect timing or perfect words or a perfectly executed moment. It is rooted in something genuine and patient and willing to wait for you to be ready. Because that is the nature of this kind of love. It does not demand, it does not rush, it simply remains consistently, quietly, unmistakably present. The way you have always deserved to be loved, the way you are going to allow yourself to be loved starting now. Take good care of your heart today, Virgo. It is carrying something beautiful and it deserves to be held gently, even and especially by you. Come back whenever you need to be reminded of your own worth. This space will always have something real waiting for you. Until next time, let yourself be seen. You are so worth seeing.